Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back to Media EP.2 Tuban channel. My name is Dini Khairuzadi and for the next few minutes I'm going to be your host. Continuing from our previous episode of podcast, today we are still going to talk about the protections of women's and children's rights post-divorce. As we have already known, the Chief Judge of Tuban Religious Court created a new template that enables judges to make a better decision by considering the recommendation letter of Dinsos and Dinkes. So, joining with us today for the second time is Miss Magia Ramadhania Putri, who will explain further about this new template and the urgency of creating such a template. Good morning, Miss Magia.
Good morning.
Okay, so would you please explain further about this new template and what is the urgency of creating such a template?
Okay, so as I said earlier in the previous podcast, the Chief Judge of the Tuban Religious Court provides a new template of the court decision as a response to our priority program in 2023 regarding the optimization of protection of women's and children's rights post-divorce through the court decision and ruling. In regards to this program, the Chief Judge of the Tuban Religious Court is going to roll out this new template of the court decision and ruling in the next few days. The new template itself gives a guarantee of human rights protection in a legal framework, particularly for vulnerable groups, that is, women and children. Talking about the urgency of rolling out this new template, well, actually, this new template was made to enable judges and the court apparatus to perform optimally and effectively, and it can also help the acceleration of court decision and ruling-making process by the judges without intervening their independency.
Right. So, as you said, this new template can help the acceleration of court decision and rulemaking by the judges, right? So by providing this new template as a response to the priority program, do you think that this new template of court decision and ruling is relevant to priority program of Directorate General of Religious Court?
Definitely, as you know that this new template was made as an elaboration of the priority program of the Directorate General of Religious Court in 2023 regarding protection of women's and children's rights post-divorce before the law. It is also in accordance with the strategic planning of the Directorate General of Religious Court, as stated by the Secretary of the Supreme Court of the Republic of Indonesia, as well as the caretaker of the Directorate General of Religious Court, Professor Dr. Haji Hasbi Hasan SHMH, on his remark on 15th of March 2023. On his remark, His Honor Professor Hasbi Hasan SHMH stated that the public image of judges in the religious court should be restored. Judges should be considered as a judge in the eyes of the law and as an ulama or a cleric in the eyes of society.
Right. So that's interesting, considering the fact that this new template is relevant with the strategic planning and priority program of Directorate General of Religious Court. Do you think that the new template can actually help the vulnerable group? I mean, do you think that religious court can help protecting women's and children's rights through this court decision and ruling?
Okay, so protecting women's and children's rights involves many parties since it's an interconnecting attempt. However, the religious courts can use their decision and ruling to guarantee the rights of women and children, especially post-divorce. Actually, the main issue that is faced by the religious courts itself towards these vulnerable groups is the law enforcement. As the court that is dealing with civil cases, the religious courts face impediments to enforce the law and to give protection to women and children after divorce. Since women and children are mostly the ones who experience psychological and economic burden, difficulty in reaching higher education and having a proper environment and so on. An adage points out that the court decision cannot be executed as if it were a toothless tiger. Therefore, a cooperation with the other stakeholders, I mean here the cooperation between the religious courts and other stakeholders should be built. The cooperation itself may include three things. First, cooperating with the police institution in the hope that the parents who intentionally abandon the children, whereas they have the capability for the child support, can be reported to the police officers by the child guardian so that these parents can be sentenced for at least um, at a 1 month jail for the maximum, just like the Egyptian did. Second, collaborating with the Department of Social Affairs, Women Empowerment, Child Protection, Society and Village Empowerment, also known as Dinsos P3A, to give counseling for the wives and children who experience domestic violence prior to receiving the divorce certificate. Third, collaborating with local government and also the director of an institution to instruct the treasurer salary to deduct the employee's salary in accordance with the court verdict so that the deduction of this salary can be used to pay the child support.
Right. So the summaries of this interview is that the law enforcement still becomes the obstacle to protect women's and children's rights, so that the court decision and ruling mostly become a toothless tiger since it cannot protect women's and children's rights optimally. Considering this issue, a strong collaboration with other stakeholders should be built so that the court decision can be implemented. And according to Ms. Magia, we can also adopt what Egypt government did to punish those parents who intentionally abandon their children. Okay, well, that's the end of today's podcast. Kindly stay tuned for our next episode and don't forget to keep it up with us, particularly for the socialization of the new template in the next few days. Please subscribe to our social media at Pengadilan Agama Tuban or visit our website at patuban.go.id. My name is Dini Khairizadi. Thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.